Evening. How's everybody doing? Yay. I'm a bit disheveled. I have to be honest. I woke up like this. I have not gotten ready today. I have bedhead. I'm like trash times 10. I was actually like about to go out and go run and do like my workouts. I hadn't showered, and then my friend Tracy called me and she was like, "Hey, what are you doing? You know, are you at home?" And I was like, "Yeah, come over." And then we ended up going to lunch. And I was like, "Yeah, I'll just throw on my jumpsuit and a hat. I can do anything." And yeah, so I just have not ever gotten ready today. And then I thought, ooh, I am going to take a hot bath. And so I was going to do the video first, and then that way I could just relax into the rest of the night. So yeah, we're going to do our extended reading for Wednesday, which I'm pretty excited about. I think it's going to be good. But I do want to tell you, I've had such an exciting food week. I've had like the most wonderful waffles the other day with mascarpone cheese and roasted fruit and like soft poached eggs with bacon. And then today, Tracy and I had really good Mexican food, and I had a Mexican shrimp cocktail, which I'm obsessed with. And last night at work, a bunch of desserts got messed up at the end of the night. So we had fried apple pies and our house-made chocolate gelato that Lizette makes by hand. And so like last night I was eating this chocolate ice cream, like it was like dancing like no one's watching. I mean, I was just like living out loud. It was so good. So had lots of good food. I'm not even in the mood to even think about making a food choice. So I was like, I've been kind of craving just like oatmeal with fruit and nuts in it, and like cereal and yogurt. And I was like, I think that's just what I'm going to do for a couple of days, is just like eat like good, simple breakfast food and fruit and not think about it. It's that time of year. It's like the smoothie lettuce time of year. When it gets like hot and sunny, I don't even think I need food anymore. I just like absorb the sun and run around a lot and drink water and like eat a cucumber, and I'm happy. But I love food, so it's like, I don't know, it gets too hot here to eat. But yeah, enough about food. Sorry, that's my Cancer moon. Cancers are like, they are deeply involved with food. So today I had 3 cards that came out that were telling a story. And so I'm going to order them the way that they looked. See, this is the way they appear to me, but they're going to be reversed to you. So Queen of Cups over here was 1, and then the High Priestess is 2, and then Judgment was 3. And so I got a very like quick and like obvious message from this, and it is like, look, we want to trust our instincts. Our instincts are screaming at us what is going on right now, but our emotions are like so worked up that it's making it a little cloudy for us to really trust our instincts. And it's it's so hard to really get a good read on them. But this week, I feel like we're getting a lot more clarity. We're going to have that kind of clarity that doesn't come from outside moments that give you closure, because if you're just waiting through life for closure, you're never going to get it. So you're just going to give it to yourself. So you're just going to get really clear on like what the next steps are in your situation. You're going to feel another sense of like coming online and waking up. Like this is kind of an awakening card. It's an epiphany. It's a revelation. And the kind of energy I get from this is like we had this is an awakening within an awakening. So there's been like this initial awakening lately, right? We've been up leveling, we've been starting this new cycle, but it's almost like when you get up in the morning and you haven't really had your coffee yet, you haven't started moving, you're a little groggy, and then once you do start moving, you really feel like you come online and you're like, all right, I can take on the day. Well, this is kind of the sense that we're gonna like get to this week, but first we're going to have to do some soul searching and do some diving into our subconscious to figure out where this anxiety is coming from, because big things are happening in our life. And so when shifts start happening, especially if these are shifts in positive situations, those old subconscious patterns come up. The ego starts like squirming and like getting kind of panicked, because the ego is afraid of success and things going well, and it's also afraid of things going wrong. It's just like the ego is always just like torn apart inside, and it's always tearing you apart inside. So yeah, the ego is going to be fighting the situation either way. And so it's important that we slow down and watch the triggers that come up in us, and we watch for those old patterns or automatic programming to come on, right? So like, what is your default setting, and is that what you want it to be? You can choose with free will, and that's what you should be doing. So we have this like feeling that we know what's happening underneath the surface. There's more going on. There's action behind the scenes. There's more going on than meets the eye. And it's like, it feels like we have a good sense of what that is, but at the same time, an equal and just as loud and convincing voice is telling us the opposite. So in a way, we're like, oh, I feel like my dreams really are coming true. There's signs of positivity, but at the same time, you have this equal voice going, no, you've just been delusional, and it's really understandable, but you need to get realistic and do something, make the more responsible, like sober choice here or whatever, or protect yourself. And so it's hard because like that reasonable, logical, sober voice sounds so convincing and so safe. But also the fact that like there's also a part of you that's screaming, no, I really think it is this other way. I think it really could work out, and I don't think I'm being delusional. And it's like, really, at the end of the day, it's like we know deep down, we're just scared for some reason that we'll be wrong, and then we'll be like embarrassed and heartbroken. Like, we've all been through that before, right? So like, what's the worst that can happen? So yeah, I would say don't fret for any reason. Just be relaxed. Let go and just flow with life, and look into those subconscious things that are coming up and follow them back. Because there's probably some kind of subconscious thing from either like really early in your childhood, maybe related to like the way that you witnessed your parents dealing with each other, or how the relationship that you had with your parents. Were you neglected by your parents? Were your parents like those drama queens that were caught up in their own like big dramatic storyline, and you were just like the kids left behind in the middle of the storm going on all the time? Like, okay, well, that had an effect on you. What kind of upbringing were you used to? What did you experience? Like, what kind of relationship did your parents have with each other? What patterns did you witness playing out at a young age? Were they overly smothering to you, or were they neglectful to you? All of those things affect us in our lives and in the comings and goings with our other relationships. So when we explore those and we get more clarity about them, then we can choose with free will instead of that old subconscious programming that usually serves to, in the name of good, try to protect us, but really it just turns into this like defense mechanism that builds a wall around us and usually becomes blocks. So I think that we can really make a lot of progress on that this week and have some revelations and be able to make our decisions based on what we really feel in our heart of hearts, what we really want, what we really desire, because we're getting a lot more clarity and a lot more confidence about following our gut and just going with it. The Queen of Cups and the High Priestess, it's like there's definitely something that is not being put out in the open that you are picking up on, because you're super intuitive, you're super psychic, and you are kind of in on the secrets, right? And that you have a desire for like a greater awareness and a greater understanding, but the veil is just still there. Like, there's still something behind the veil that you can't see yet, and it will be unveiled soon enough. So don't be worried. I think things are going in a really good direction. Everything else suggests that things have been going in the right direction. And just don't forget that we've had a million messages that are encouraging, like connecting with a soulmate, or that, our manifestations are working out, or your dreams are bearing fruit. And we've also been warned not to fret, not to worry, that if we do worry, that it's needless worry, and that it is unfounded anxiety. And also, there was another message. Oh yes, and we were warned during our full moon reading that there would be, in the next, like over the waning cycle, there would be a naysayer. There would be some bad advice that we would get that would make us feel like what we want is not working out, even though we've seen evidence that it is. And so there would be somebody come along that would like shit in our cereal and kind of like ruin our good mood and like the good wave that we're riding on, and not to let that happen. So I know I had that happen, and I had to like catch myself and be like, okay, don't listen to that. That was the thing. That was the thing that the messages were warning us about. So I'm not listening to that naysayer. They have their own shit going on. And so just be aware that the naysayer in your life is going to come and try to rain on your parade. And don't let them, because everything is going well. Trust your instincts. And really, I mean, if you get it wrong, I mean, nobody's gonna, like, everybody will live. You'll go on to see another day. It'll all work out in the end. Okay? All right. Well, you guys, I'm gonna enjoy a hot bath, and then I'll put on a movie or something. All right. Ciao.